Morning guys, Chris VA Travels down here in Colonial Heights, little city about 20 miles south of Richmond, and I'm on the north side of the Appomattox River just across from Petersburg, and going to visit Violet Bank, a historic home, or what's left of a historic home, and it's most noted as being the headquarters for Robert E. Lee during the Battle of Petersburg. So I'm just going to take a walk around. And we're in the Violet Bank Historic District, established in 1908. And it gets its name, its origin, because they originally think there may have been just a bunch of violets up on this hillside. Also, Thomas Shore, builder of the house, he was a big fan of Shakespeare. And it may have came from a quote from Midsummer's Night Dream, "The bank where the violets grow." Yeah, Thomas Shore, again, built this place 1778. He died 1800, then the original house burned down 1810, then it was rebuilt 1815 by his widow. That would be Jane Grey. And over here, a big Japanese cedar, looks pretty nice. And I saw one of these when I was in Leesburg, or up in Loudoun County the other day, a Monarch Way Station, and a little memorial to fallen veterans, and there's a little piece of artwork down there, Violet Bank Garden Club. Check this thing out. It's called a cucumber tree. It's a Magnolia acuminata, and it's the second largest of its type in the world. I think it's pretty impressive. And yeah, look at the girth on that trunk. Yeah, so here's a little write-up. And legend has it that Thomas Shore, again, the builder of the house, owner of Violet Bank, yeah, this was planted from a slip given to him by Thomas Jefferson. That can't be true, because as you walk up, it says the tree was planted 1718. Thomas Jefferson wasn't born until 1743, and Thomas Shore wouldn't have been alive at that time either. But yeah, these cucumber trees, they're native to kind of the Shenandoah Valley area. That thing is huge. Yeah, and they've got these little, what are soon to be cucumbers, starting to pop. Yeah, this thing is a monster. You see it being held up. And this would be the front of the house. The rear portion of the house was taken down. Oh, what type of bird is that? Okay, so I'll come over, hover the camera over this plaque so you can read a little information. This was bustling headquarters again, Robert E. Lee. He was here with his aide, Colonel Walter Taylor. And yeah, it looks like they set up shop June 17th, 1864. And over here is just another little memorial. And this is just to honor the troops. Oh, and this, during the 1950s, this became an American Legion post. And they don't know for sure, but Robert Mills may have been the architect. I've mentioned him a couple times before. He built the Fluvanna Courthouse. And he also built several buildings, one of which I visited. I've got a video on. It's called the Robert Mills House down in Columbia, South Carolina. And he was a student of Benjamin Latrobe. And so they think it was either Robert Mills or just somebody who studied Benjamin Latrobe. And also, coincidentally, Benjamin Latrobe visited the first house that was on this property. He was friends with Thomas Shore. They went to a horse race together and had dinner one evening. Yeah, so anyway, let me just walk around. And we've kind of got a stone, kind of stuccoed chimney over here. Okay, a little kind of painting of it on the fence here, and a pretty neat stone kind of wall, or decorative stone wall. After the Civil War, I can tell you the place had become impoverished. And in 1873, it was sold to a lady from New York. Yeah, a lot of Northerners came down here after the Civil War, scooped up properties. Then after that, it fell into several different hands. And the extension back here actually housed cows at one time, leading back probably to across the street. It extended. It was kind of an L-shaped coming off right here. And then in 1915, a realty company bought it, and they razzed this whole back portion. And yeah, you see we're in the middle of a neighborhood, kind of an older neighborhood. It doesn't go back to 1915, but yeah, this is that's when this was all then developed. So show you what is now the back. Yeah, and originally 144 acres. As I walk around, a couple of other things to mention. This thing saw a couple engagements during the Revolutionary War. One battle included Frederick von Steuben. Some of you guys might remember him from the Valley Forge fame. Kind of whipped our colonial army into shape. And then also another led by Marque Lafayette. Yeah, this thing's seen a lot of history. Revolutionary War, Civil War. And Thomas Shore, he was a merchant. Again, we're right off the Appomattox River. Old bell right here. And you'll see these big windows, 3 sashes on them. So this might have been a porch. You could lift them up and they almost become doors, I guess. Get a kind of a cross breeze kind of going through. And you'll see kind of a high basement right there. Other side is matching. Yeah, another shot. That tree is incredible. Hydrangeas over here. Nice place to sit and relax right here in the shade. Smell the flowers, listen to the birds. And what is this? Donated by the Violent Bank Garden Club. So yeah, it did a pretty good job with the property. Pretty well maintained. Bird feeder. Looks like it kind of feeds the squirrels down there probably too. And yeah, just a place to kind of walk your dog. Good shot of the cucumber tree. Bench over here. Okay, yeah, so most important, this was the headquarters for Robert E. Lee, Battle of Petersburg. And he set up shop here June 17th, 1864. And he was here until October 28th. Although mid-August, he started spending more time at a place called Sheaf and Bluff. That was on the north side of the James. And he was here during the Battle of the Crater and most likely heard the explosion. Like I say, Petersburg right across the river. Pretty cool step up right here. Just some Doric columns holding up the portico. And you'll see it's on the historic register. Cool. All right, and to let you know, the tours actually start in the, you walk down to the basement. Oh, and before I go inside, I've been told I need to plug my merch. I'll just let you know I've got mugs and t-shirts. I'm going to have hats soon. Mugs seem to be the most popular. If you're watching on your computer, there's a merch shelf below the video you can click on. And yeah, here's the admission. Check it out. Alright guys, made it inside, and yeah, I love finding these hidden gems. There's a lot to see in here. And also I'll let you know that we're in the basement. This is part of the original portion of the house going back to the late 1770s. And yeah, I'll start it off. There he is, Thomas Shore. Get a good look at him. His wife, Jane Grey. Not the brief English queen from the 1500s, but... And yeah, just a lot of neat things to look at. Some old colonial pipes. And of course, you've got to have George. And what is this thing? Like a blunderbuss or something? Old flintlock pistol. And would these be pieces of 8? Yeah, old bottles. And check out that cap right there. It says 1779, I believe. 1770s. 1772. Yeah, that's old. And yeah, T-block. They used to dry these things out so they could more easily ship them. Oh boy, taking a tooth out. Just imagine having that done. Some old games. And yeah, old records over here. House was originally 50 feet by 30 feet. And then the front of the house is actually the front. I thought it was the side when I was outside. And look how big it got. All that's an add-on, 1821. Yeah, in this place, it wasn't a plantation. It was just kind of a giant self-sufficient farm. But Shore did own 2 plantations not too far from here. A couple pictures of it over here. Okay, so there would have been the back before it was, and they used to, I think I said outside, they would have cows stalled up in there. But yeah, that portion's gone now. And kind of a Native American section over here. There's John Smith's famous map. Yeah, you see this everywhere. Fairly accurate. And this Clovis Point, there was one of those. I was at Government Island in Stafford last weekend. They had one over there that dated back 9,000 years. So if you ever see a Clovis arrowhead, it's old. Up here, some decoys, some furs, some hounds, fox hunting. Pretty neat stuff up here. And prohibition. And we're getting into World War I over here. Yeah, Camp Lee, Fort Lee. My great uncle actually went there. Pretty neat. They've got the Red Baron down here. Pretty cool. Obviously these are a little bit more modern. 1960, 1970. Okay. Oh, this is a Japanese parachute. It's a little shaving kit over there. Some beauty soap. $1944. Meg meter. Ah. Oh, and this place actually housed students, soldiers, Camp Lee during World War II. There was so much overflow. Hey, there's a small possibility my great uncle stayed here. Okay, there it is, 1932. Okay, a couple more things to look at. We're getting into more modern, more modern times. There's a medical kit over here. Some false teeth. All right, and lastly, just some games over here. I remember playing with something like that, similar when I was a kid. Yeah, a lot of neat stuff to look at. Grant at Cold Harbor, and that's Lee in front of the Stuart Lee House in Richmond. And that was taken right after, just a couple days when he had gotten back from to Richmond from Appomattox. A couple stamps right there. Stonewall Jackson, I see on that top one. And yeah, I'll show you some of these guns. 58 caliber. Okay, Wade Hampton back there. Oh, McClellan designed that saddle. Pretty neat. Oh, check this out. That's pretty unique. A branding iron, CSA. That's a pretty cool piece. Small little die. And what is this over here? Beauregard. Kind of a little accordion type instrument. Pretty interesting. There's the guy playing it. He's got his banjo. Drummer boy. And looks like there's the band back there. Down here you've got a fiddle or a violin. One of the two, violin case. Pretty neat. Yeah, a couple guys playing it back there. Can't tell who that is. Looks like McClellan, but yeah, the slave trade, that's a pretty horrible picture right there. 450 people crammed on that thing. And it says 1808, and that's right when the transatlantic slave trade ended. And there's the Whip Pete. You see he's down near Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And you'll see most came from that Gold Coast, Angola. And back there's the Pocahontas Island. And over here, the vacant chair. And this is an old poem. I hadn't heard about this. You can read the top, the opening lines to The Vacant Chair. It's a war poem written by Henry Washburn and set to music by George Root, 1862. I'll have to look that up later. And so, yes, like I say, a lot of interesting stuff. Telegraph key, a battery box. Yeah, check out that leg. The toes move. The guy told me. What is this? Confederate States of America loan. Oh, some gunpowder. And I need to visit that DuPont factory. I meant to when I visited there about a year and a half ago, but I got caught up and didn't make it. Louisiana and Florida. Oh, I'm skipping over some stuff up here. All the generals up here. Lee right there in the middle. The Hatchers, owners of the Halfway House. And that's now a restaurant. It's off Route 1 near where 288 intersects. Anybody wants to know. 50 cents. Those coins are in good shape. I'm not too familiar with these smaller battles around here, but Prince Albert Schenko, worn by the Petersburg militia. This is pre-Civil War. Oh, there they are back there, a picture of them. And I'll show you some artifacts over here. And these were all found within the last couple of years. I think they were doing some work on the chimney. Looks like maybe they had some of that blue willow china right there. Shoe buckles. Oh, a spoon. And then, oh, some pickles from that cucumber tree outside. That's a good picture of it. And I'll show you this real quick. A Mexican war buckle. Yeah, some more China. Okay, cool little room back here, and check out this soldier, infantryman, and just imagine wearing a coat like that on a day like today. In Petersburg, it became what it was because of the railroads. 5 train stations. Some pretty neat things to look at. Okay, some rations back there. Oysters, it looks like. Okay. I'll pan my camera across here. You can pause and read, but yeah, some information on those Petersburg railroads. The Daily Register, June 17th. That's the day they set up shop here, made it their headquarters. Conscription bill. There they are. All right, circa 1850 from a captain's cabin of the CSS Patrick Henry. Neat. All right, shells down here, saddle. Pretty good collection, I have to say. Okay, there's the dictator. You can still see that, how he visited the Battle of Petersburg. What is that? Over here, a little Robert E. Lee display. And he never actually slept in his house. He slept in a tent outside. Pretty cool statues. Pretty good painting back there. And there he is, in front of the house. Cool, yeah, neat stuff back here. Well, here's von Steuben. Get a close look at him. And British General Phillips. Major General Muhlenberg. Yeah, 1,000 troops holding off 3,000 redcoats. All right, let's go upstairs. Oh, just some local Flora School brick house. There's Violent Bank, Oak Hill, and Ellerslie. All right, so we're upstairs. The portion of the house that was rebuilt in 1815. And a little dining room table. And check out the plaster medallion up here. Really nice. And the trim. Check out this piano. Yeah, so this is just, it's not Blue Willow, it doesn't look like, but that's pretty interesting. Coal box down there. It was, please do not sit. Canton plate, 1850. Alright, see D is Blue Willow. And you always know Blue Willow, you see those 2 little birds flying. I don't see a D actually. But, oh, there you go, right there. That's the Blue Willow pattern. And there's actually a story to that picture. Oh, a little cherub design up here. Nice punch bowl. And here's that dummy that I saw through the window. It's got our hats in the trunk here. And this piece is called a Traveler's Companion. And there are no nails or screws. It's just 4 pieces put together, made to take apart to travel. You'll see a couple closets kind of on the side. All right, central hallway right here. This would have been the front of the house. Kind of a neat display over here. George, our first official president. Well, this is going through our presidents during the Articles of Confederation. Not really presidents, but... And if you're not familiar, you can pause and read 14 Forgotten Presidents. All right, last room. And first thing you'll notice is the trim up here. They call this Adam style. It's light and fanciful. All right. Just some antique items to look at. Box of shells, 1870. Oh, there's that picture again of Lee out front. I always like to check out the old books, Old Webster's Dictionary. Another dictionary. Burns poems. Oh yeah, and this was a great headquarters for Lee. You could see the siege lines of Petersburg on the other side of the Appomattox from here, and of course all of this wasn't here. The only thing you would have seen is this. It would have been a much smaller cucumber tree. The branches wouldn't have been on the ground at the time, and they would use that for the toilet. A little wash bin right here. All right, yeah, that's it for Violent Bank. Great tour. Like I say, I love these hidden gems. Good place to check out, definitely if you're a Civil War buff. And a good place to check out maybe if you're visiting the Battle of Petersburg. Like I say, right across the Appomattox. And I'm gonna get out of here. As always, guys, like and subscribe. See ya.